How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here. With the full game being open to everyone, it is finally time to announce the Wooden Spoon and Flat Out Footy prize pool. Mac has so graciously sponsored the channel for this year, meaning the prize pool is going to start at $750. It is
Let's go.
the biggest prize pool out of any free group that I've seen. Granted, we do divide it between first, second, and third, so you've got a better chance at winning some actual money. If you haven't seen it before, I'll pop the rules up because that $750 can grow and did grow by about 4 times last year. So here are the rules. The prize pool will be divided 60% to first, 30% to second, and 10% to third. I will provide a $10 budget per round to split between the first 5 bets commented by viewers on the Wednesday round preview video. If there's less than 5 comments, it will get split evenly between the comments. All money from bets won is added to the total prize pool. So if, for example, there's 5 comments and 4 out of the 5 pick the right head-to-head, probably looking at about $20 getting added to the prize pool, potentially every week. If you're a returning viewer, last year you did very well. I'm pretty sure the amount of money I put up was doubled in winnings, and we started at $100, got up to $475. So whoever contributes the highest total to the prize pool will have that amount paid out to them at the end of the season with an $100 cap. This amount is not deducted from the prize pool. So say, for instance, 10 out of the 27 weeks, you get a bet right and you contribute $95 at the end of the year. That will be paid out to you if you are the highest contributor. And to claim the prize money, you must be subscribed to Wooden Spoon Supercoach. The winner of the league has until November 1 to contact me with a verification of the team, or the money goes to second place. Contact method and verification steps will be explained later in the year. So there's the code, 899247. Make sure you get in this league. It's being a relatively new channel. It's one of the easier leagues to win, and there's the most money put up that I've seen so far. So there's really no reason not to join, and it's completely free.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, get all that admin out of the way. We'll move on to the video. We're doing pods now because, like I said, the game's open to everyone. We can finally see some percentages. Before we do that though, how you going, Mac? Thank you for sponsoring the channel. It's much appreciated. And how you doing?
Good, mate. Good. I'm glad to be here. Straight A, nice and hot, but I'm in my aircon, so no complaints from me. I know plenty of people probably sweating it out there, but also on the beers, so having a good time. We should try and keep it pretty quick for them with the pods today, but really quick, Flat Out Footy, guys. If you haven't checked it out yet, check out the website, flatoutfooty.com. It's a rugby league board game coming out later this year. It's for new fans of the game and for die-hard footy fans as well, from advanced strategies to beginner rules and stuff like that. So get in there, check it out, and sign up to the email, and we'll let you know when we're launching later this year. So Flat Out Footy, a rugby league board game coming soon. But for today, we're into the pods. So who have you got for us, Jake? You got some pods in the hooker position, or are we starting a fullback? Where are we going?
Ah, that's a good question. Let's go fullback. I reckon it's more exciting. We'll flip
All
over
right.
here, and just while we're getting set up, I just want to reiterate this. I've seen how this game works. It looks so fun. I can't wait to play it myself. Obviously, I'm gonna say that because I'm sponsored, but I just want you to know that I wouldn't have done this if I didn't think it was genuinely a good product. So, Max got something very exciting in the works. If you're interested, make sure you go check it out.
Thanks, man.
So,
I'll get down to Sydney soon, and we'll have a game Flat Out Footy. Let's go.
100%. I'm very excited.
All right,
So,
fullback pods. Who you got?
we'll start off with Trey Fuller, and I have him in my team right now. Where is he? There he is. Average of 88 points last year. Sure, it's a small sample size, but if he can get anywhere near that, then he's severely underpriced. He's priced at about 56 points. And if anyone's watched Trey Fuller, they know he's electric, and it really just comes down to whether he does get that fullback spot and push Hammer to center.
Yep.
I can see it happening because if I was the coach, I would want both of them in the team. Sure,
Agreed.
Hammer may be the better option at fullback, but you can't stick Trey Fuller at center. So it is a little bit up in the air, but he's in my team for now. And if I do see him on a team sheet closer to the start of the season, I will be picking him.
That's it. I hear you. He's a good shout for sure. I'm with you. If I'm the coach, I'm putting him in, but there might be some rumors around that he's not there to start the season. So we'll see how we go
Yeah,
with that one. Definitely watch that space. Trey Fuller, I like it. On the flip side, I'm going to throw the pod Hamiso Tabuai Fido at you for the fullback position. He actually was one of the highest scoring throughout the season last year. Even though he went to Origin, he has good average, and the Dolphins should be even stronger again. And if he is playing fullback, he had a bit of a slow start last season, so I'll be looking for him to kick things off stronger this time round. And we have very low ownership for Hamaso as well.
Yeah, 3%, very low. Definitely a genuine pod. Trey
Yep.
Fuller's a bit more, 7%. So some people are definitely kind of keeping an eye on him. And
I'm probably a bit biased with these picks here as well,
yeah,
but I'll throw one more at you. Isaiah Iongi at the Eels, second year in the startup, and he was like cheapie of the year last year. Basically, no one expected him to be like a gun keeper fullback when they started off with him. So yeah, look, he has even more room to grow with Mitch Moses and Jonah Pezzett there this year. They'll be looking to feed someone out the back of those sweeps, and Iongi can break tackles. He can finish a play with a pass. So yeah, Iongi could have an even stronger year and look to be like a top tier fullback this year. So if that's what your gut is telling you about him, then he could be a good pod to grab early in the season.
I think Para is slowly becoming like a second kind of Rabbitohs where it's just we're expecting them to do much better. So
Yep.
if that comes to fruition at all, then we can expect most of their players to have a bit of value about them. So I quite like that one as well. And at 3%, definitely in pod territory. Have you got any other fullbacks, or shall we move up to the center wings?
Center wing, let's go.
This kind of transitions nicely talking about para, because I've got Brian Kelly. It looks like Brian Kelly is getting that spot on the outside of Mitch Moses. And in previous videos, we were talking about who was it? Bailey Simonson potentially getting that spot. Pretty much whoever gets that spot, as long as they're
Mhm.
not, 700K, then they will be undervalued. Brian Kelly is
Mhm.
a criminally underrated player, mostly just because he plays at the Titans. It's not to shit on the Titans too hard, but players there are very good, but they just kind of go under the radar because they're not really making those finals games. I can see Brian Kelly being a very interesting pick, and he's at 1%. So
Yep.
definitely a different one there.
If he starts, I love it. But again, watch the team list on the first week, I suppose, for that one. Definitely a good pick. I've gone for Casey McLean, 8%. I'm not sure if that qualifies as your pod territory, but this kid was a gun last year, and he was just learning the ropes at the Panthers and had a bit of a slow start, especially defensively. So looking for less mistakes to start things off, and a real jump in his confidence as well. So Casey McLean being a little bit slept on, but not completely. Obviously, 8% people are getting on board in a way. On the other side of things, in the super kind of pod territory at 1%, I've got Alex Johnston. So everyone's raving about the left edge for the Rabbitohs, but no one's really talking about putting the winger of that left edge in their Supercoach team, especially round two up against the Roosters down in Sydney. That's when they'll be looking to break the record. So yeah, I mean, if this guy's getting a hat trick in the first couple of weeks of the season, don't I feel like people should be jumping on those points. Sure, it could be Latrell or it could be Cody Walker that sets him up, but I think they're going to all be feeding AJ. He could be just the center point at the end of all of that attack, and he could pick up 5, 6 tries in the first couple of weeks of the season. So he's a good pod for me in the center wing position.
And it would be a vibe to have him when he breaks the record. That'd be a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I think my concern with Johnston is there's a lot of Rabbitohs that people are going to have in their teams. So, like, say you've got Fafita, Cam Murray, Brandon Smith. They do have a bye, I think, in like round 4 or something. So, as you could probably go for that flyer if you don't have a bunch of those other guys, but you also don't want to,
Hmm.
kind of dig yourself into a hole for round 4.
Yep.
And it's also just the base for him that worries me a little bit, but that's why he's a pod. You're banking on him to get those attacking stats, and it's Alex Johnson. He gets attacking stats.
Yeah, it's just that point of his career where they're going to all be feeding him the ball. So, like, he's going to get attacking stats.
I don't hate it. Moving on to, I can't believe this guy is 1% owned because I don't know if I've missed something, if he's injured, because 1% for Daniel Tupou. Like,
Okay.
he
Yeah.
was the third highest scoring center wing last year
Yep.
in a Roosters team that is definitely gunning for a premiership. Sure, there's a lot of other center wings in that team that are going to score a lot of points as well, but Tupou he never goes completely terribly over a stretch. He does
Hmm.
have a little bit of a low score in him, but what center wing doesn't? Yeah, I think it's just ridiculous that he's only at 1%. Roosters are definitely making a push, and I've actually taken Latrell Mitchell out of my team for Tupou. I
Yeah, okay.
I like it. He's my pod in my team at the moment.
Yeah. You know why I like that shout so much? Because he always had Sam Walker there, or for most of the season last year, he had Sam Walker there with a top tier kicking game, especially short kicking game. Now he has DCE there as well.
Yep.
Like between those two, the kicking game is just elite. So I'd definitely be looking for him to pick up a few extra points this season. So that's great, great shout for a pod position.
And like I'm looking at it, like 636k, yeah, it's a little bit pricey, but that's probably why he's all the way down at 1%. And he's a proven gun for years and years and years. So I can't
Yeah.
argue with it.
Yeah, if you want to put him in as one of your top tier centre wings to start the season off, then that could be great. He could end up averaging 70 or 80 this season with those guys in his team. So I like it. Really good. Have you got more in this spot or are you moving on to 5'8"?
I've got one more.
Yep.
Not as hot on this one, but it is, where are you? Taylor May. 4%. So there's a few
Mhm.
people jumping on him. 617k. Look, his average last year, it's kind of a low sample size, but he averaged 70.1 in 7 games. So not the most sort of games to tell by, but 7 is kind of enough to start getting an idea. And the Tigers, I feel like they're just going to feed him a lot of ball considering his form towards the end of last year. If it was towards the end of last year, I can't actually remember. Let's have a look at his stats. So he played, 19 through to 27 with an exception of round 23. In those games, he got a 90 and 101 and 123 with a low score of 32. So decent floor for a center wing as well. The buy to start with does hurt, but I can see potentially a lot of people flocking to him as the price changes come around for him in round 4, which is handy as well. So you've got an extra week to make that decision.
Yep. Extra week to have a look, but I don't mind it if you jump on early. Then you save yourself a trade if he does turn out to be the one that everyone wants. So good shout.
So yeah, we'll move up to 5'8" now, and I'll let you take over here because I just don't
You
really
got
have anything. It's just such
you
a
you've got
shallow
one, don't you?
position.
Come on, you've got one. Give us your one.
Who was it? I can't remember. We were talking about it before.
He said, "Is off air?" He goes, "This is a dead position. I've only got one there." And I said, "Mate, this is where I've got 6 or 7 because I think that the 5/8 position could be the one that sets you apart. And if you get on one of these guys and you were the only guy to pick it, then yeah, look, you could be looking at some huge points here." So, did you find your guy,
Was
Jake,
it Ezra Mann that I
or am
was
I?
talking about, or was it someone else? I
No,
genuinely
you
can't
said
remember.
you said you're gonna leave Ezra for me because
That's
Ezra,
that's what
you've
I was
seen
thinking.
he is already in my team now. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this, but I'm sure Reece Walsh is the man at the Broncos. But that's what every defensive system is going to be thinking as well. And Ezra Mam does not need a lot of space to break through the defensive line. He can defend, really strong defender. He can even put on hits, and yeah, he's definitely got the attacking stats in him too. So yeah, look, he had a bit of a weird season last year. So with the whole preseason behind him, knowing that he's coming in to start at the 6th position, I think Ezra Mam is a shout to get some big scores in the early season and take the heat off Reece Walsh a bit. Then obviously DCE. If you've got the guts to go for it without having a look, then that's really pod territory with his ownership there as well. But super consistent at a new system, looking to get a premiership. Ethan Strange, Dally M medal winner of the year for the 5/8 position. He is probably one of the highest owned out of these pod spots at about 8%. He's going to be a gun all year. So if you could get on this position early, if you pick which one of these guys is going to have the first sort of 5 or 6 weeks, you could get a head start everyone else here, especially if there's a couple of blowout games in there. AJ Brimson at the Titans was one of the top scoring for total points in the overall. So if you want to get a safe guy that you can whack in there and just leave him there all year, he's not going to be playing State of Origin. He scored nearly as many points as Cam Munster throughout the whole season. So you don't have to mess around with trades and you just know you're going to get a reliable guy in there for your whole season. AJ's a great shout. Jackson Purdue is second year at the Cowboys. He could be looking to, push some numbers around if he's playing halfback. Who knows what can happen? So could want to take a look at that one first. If he's playing in the centers, he's a weapon. So, we'll see how he goes second year. But there's so much variety in this position. Any one of these guys could pop off. And sure, you might want to have a look. But if you get on the right guy early, especially in the first couple of weeks, this could set your season up for a good start. I got more too. Cody Nikarima at the Dolphins. He's a key part of their attack. Like everyone was raving about Katoa, but Nikarima positions himself in such a good spot that Katoa is able to find those passes, and then the centers and the wingers on the outside benefit from Nikarima's fine touch out there as well. So again, he had a slow start last year, so not on a lot of people's mind, but he had some big games as well. And then at the Panthers, Blaze Talangi, second year, starting in that halves combo with Cleary. He's only got stronger towards the end of last season too. So many pods in this position, and they're all sort of on that verge of becoming guns. So if you pick the right one to kick off your season, you could dodge a lot of trades and a lot of hassles as everybody else is trying to work out who they want in that spot. Or of course, you could just go with Cam Munster.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because most people are just going to go with Munster and Pezzett because it is like nice and safe, but that does open up the opportunity to stick a pod in there with relative ease. And I've remembered who my guy is. Luke Brooks, must have, get him in. Oh god, I almost want to make a second team just to stick him in there, and then just it's not happening. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, I'm avoiding Luke Brooks, definitely.
Sandon Smith is worth talking about as well. Going to the Knights if he gets the goal kicking as well. 12%, not quite a pod, but don't mind it. Who was it that I was talking about before? I still can't remember.
Know, but Sandon Smith is better than whoever you had before because he has the dual position. I should have mentioned him. He has the dual position, and he does look a strong shout to get the goal kicking there. Plus, he's been training in the halves. Like, I don't know, he's probably going to play big minutes there, whether they rotate him into the 9 or the 13. I don't know what they're going to do because they're going to try and fit Fletcher Sharp in somewhere as well. Phoenix Crossland had a great off-season with the All Blacks. So, look, they've got some real workhorse players in there. We'll see how he fits. But Sandon Smith could get the goal kicking, and he has a really high ceiling as well. We saw especially that Anzac Day game last year. Like, he can score some points. So I love that shout. That's your pod for the 5/8 spot.
Sweet. One. I contributed. How good of me.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move over to halfback. To start off, Nicho Hynes at 9% is crazy. And the Sharks
I suppose that qualifies.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, if we're going in these like kind of shallower positions, shallow-ish, I think we can go 10% and under. But Nicho Hynes, a little bit higher than traditional pod, but when we're talking about a guy who averaged 76 last year and has one of the betting starting draws, I need to mention him, and I've actually got him down in my flex at the moment. So my team, I've already fucking bombed my team, and it's completely different again to the team reveal the other week, but
yeah,
that's just how I do the preseason. So yeah, Nicho Hynes at 9%, cannot argue with it at all.
I like it. I got Isaiah Katoa. Pretty sure he was like the third highest overall scoring halfback last season. So, I mean, only problem is he might go play for New South Wales this year, but who knows if they don't pick him again. Stoked. Isaiah Katoa, he's a gun. Jaden Campbell, if you want to spend up big, he's a really high scoring player. Not sure what the Titans are going to look like, but be looking for them to be on the up. And if he can score an average of 70 something in the team, fighting for the spoon, imagine what he can do when they're on the up. The other one there I got is Tom Dearden, looking to see if he actually starts the season in 5/8 again or halfback. If he gets the dual, he'll be really popular and he won't be pod territory, but you could start the season with him over in Vegas. The Cowboys will be looking to score points in that first round. So yeah, Tom Dearden, I don't mind that as a pod for week 1.
I remember the other week we were talking about Cowboys versus Knights in Vegas. That is going to be an absolute points fest. Just defense optional. Although in saying that, the Knights had reasonably good defense at the start of last year, but I feel like it's going to be a 36-30 type game, that one.
It's a tough one because like teams tend to focus a lot on defense to start the season, especially during the off season. They've been really trying to get those systems down. They go out there and they're trying to execute defense as a priority in the first few rounds. But in Vegas, they want points to be scored, so the referees tend to make the games a little bit faster. And these two teams weren't the greatest defensively last season, so even if they have improved, I still can't see them really keeping each other to 10 points each or something. So I'm
Oh
with you.
yeah.
That's gonna be a bit of a points fest, and yeah, I kind of want to get guys on that game just for that round one matchup.
And it's always nice having some Vegas guys to watch. Last one I'll
Yep.
mention is Jerome Hughes, 631k at 5%.
Mhm.
Like pretty much all the Melbourne proven guns we've been talking about, they're going to be expected to lift this year with all the injuries and retirements and all that. He is coming
Mhm.
off a shoulder reconstruction, so I can see why people aren't flocking to him.
Mhm.
But if he's not right, then he won't play.
Yeah,
So
well, on their 167 podcast, he mentioned there was a minor mishap and he had to go back in for something, but he also said should still be all good, ready to go for round one, and he was about to get back into contact training and stuff. So
okay,
yeah, he it honestly didn't slow him down last season. He missed like one game and went got like pain injection or something, came back. He was a beast. It was
yeah,
even with the broken arm, like he scored a try straight through everybody, bad shoulder and all. So yeah, he was a beast, and I expect him to start the season strong as well.
yeah, he's a tough fucker, that's for sure. Like,
Yeah.
God. Did we talk about Sam Walker? He's at 6%.
No, but that's a good shout. Again, it's just hard with the Roosters, like knowing who's going to score the points. Are they going to share the load a lot? I can see in the first sort of 4 weeks of the season, one week a different each week a different player scores a ton. One week it's Teddy, one week it's Walker, one week it's DCE, next week it's Mark Nawang and Tawase. Like we do, and on the other weeks they're all scoring 30s or 40s. Like I'm just not sure what's going to happen yet. So I wouldn't mind to have a look and see if somebody can come out as the front runner for scoring the Supercoach points on that side.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Walker does, like, he's got the goal kicking in a very attacking heavy team, so that's good for him as well. Um,
Mm.
Nawaqanita Wasi on the wing is also a decent talking point. I'm pretty sure he's actually at like 20% or something, which surprises me because he's up towards like 730k from memory. Lastly, this isn't a pod, but because of who it is, Cleary at 21%. Someone left a comment on a prior video saying the more I hear people talk about Cleary, talk about not having Cleary, the more I want him.
Mm.
And it's just worth mentioning. It's Nathan Cleary. He's an absolute freak, average of 84.5. It's just, if you can manage to get him in, if you've got a spare bit of cash and you've got like a Hines you could upgrade to Cleary, I think that could really get you a bit of a head start, considering everyone's starting with, I mean, Sanders and Atkinson by the look of it, and they're not going to be scoring heaps of points. So
I
definitely one
like
to
it.
look at.
My Cleary pod is to fade him all season. We'll see how that works out for me.
All season. Wow, that's brave.
Yep. Yep, that's what I'm going for.
It is nice to not have to think about it around the origin period and maybe,
I don't know, man. This is too much of a headache. It's just a simple thing for me. I'm just not going to worry about that.
fair enough.
Like, look, if he screams must have because they're just popping off and he's punting up every week, then
Yeah,
you got to get on. But I'm going to try my hardest to fade Cleary all season and not worry about the trade ins and outs.
yeah.
All right, what do we got? Second row.
Second row forward, let's do it.
Who have you got for me?
So starting off, I've got these two guys together. We've got Hudson and Dylan Lucas, both about the same price, both at 5%, which is crazy. Surely they would be highly owned if there wasn't so many value picks in second row forward. It's a lot of money, but I think everyone should have at least one serious gun pick into RF and not just fill it up
Mm,
with value players. You
good
can
point.
kind of get stuck, and not all of the value players are going to do well. On the topic of value players in 2RF, Dave Fafita has injured his rib, and Latrell Mitchell has done his calf again. Neither of which is going to keep them out for round one, but it is just a little thing to keep in mind, more so with Latrell, because that calf has been hindering him for a very long time, hence why I took him out
Yeah.
for Tupo. But yeah, Hudson and Dylan Lucas, I think if you can make the money work, it is definitely worth having one of them.
Hmm.
I'm leaning more towards Hudson, just because there's question marks around what the attack's going to look like for the Knights, but I can't argue with either of them.
Yeah, I'm with you that you need one gun in the 2RF position to start the season. And by the numbers, it looks like most people are going with somebody like Tino Fasuma Ale or Jermaine Hopgood. So, these Eka Halasima right up there at 18%. These are some popular picks. So, look, honestly, the gun tier player in this position, we're talking, your Aaron Clarks, your Bo Fermors, your Hudson Youngs, they're all in pod territory. Just pick and choose. Just grab a gun, whack them in there, leave them there all year. They'll bust out 1,500 points for you for the season. So whichever one you think is going to be most adaptable in your team. Somebody like a Pat Carrigan is a great shout with the dual position there. That's probably why he's at 7% instead of, 2% like some of these other guys. So I also personally like Corey Horsburgh as a pod. He was great for me last year. You could just leave him in your team all year. If he has a good, strong start, maybe you can upgrade him. If he Otherwise, you could just leave him in there as a season keeper, as sort of one of your mid-tier guys. So, yeah, he's great with the dual position as well. Yeah, it's a strong spot. Grab a gun, just mix them up, folks. There's plenty more guns to go around other than Tino in that spot.
Absolutely. And the one that I would like to zone in on that you just mentioned is Beau Fermor. If we have a look at his stats, he is one of the most consistent second rowers in terms of stats that I've looked at. He had 2 scores under 50 all year. If we take those 2 games out, you get an average of 67. You get what you pay for with this bloke. So if you're not really looking for that really high attacking upside and you just want a good 60, 70 every single week, then I would go for him, and he's at 2% owned, 650k, so a little bit cheaper than the likes of Hudson and Dylan Lucas. So I may even have a look at trying to get him in myself, but I do have Hudson at the moment, and I do like the look of that. So who knows? My team changes every day.
Sounds like you got your gun. You could save some money if you went down to him, but I am already part of that 2%.
Oh, nice. I like it a lot.
Yes.
Bit more of a rogue one. Oh, kidding. I've moved up to front row forward. Did you have any other 2RFs, or are we good to move on?
No, I think I'm good there. Oh, Talis Duncan's worth a shout as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little bit of forward depth at the Rabbitohs, but if they keep getting injured like they have in years past, then Tallis will be in there eventually.
It's a watch
potentially
the team
an origin period, maybe.
it's watch the team list. Watch the team list. If he's getting 80 minutes, he's a shout.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So front row forward, we'll start off with a cheapie. We got Cody Hopwood, 4% owned, 235k. And I've got written here, with the news of McInnes making a faster than expected recovery, this could make Jesse Colquhoun less of a slam dunk. Chopwood over Colquhoun nets you 100k. However, Hopwood isn't guaranteed a spot in the team. He's more of a long-term injury cover type of player that's just above bottom dollar. There's chat of him having a great preseason. So he's not the type of guy that you're sticking in looking to make money off straight away, but he's someone you can just plot away in your front row forward 4 over the likes of a Jesse Colquhoun. Jesse Colquhoun could still be a decent option, but it looks like McInnes is going to be back sort of like round 4 or 5 or something like that, because the guy's just an absolute weapon. And I think that a lot of people could get stuck with Jesse. So I have removed him for... Wait, no, I haven't. I haven't yet, but I plan on it. If I need to free up some money, maybe from a Lasardi, who may or may not even get that spot, could be the difference between getting a mid-ranger up to a gun, so I don't mind that one. Stefano, 3% at 515k. He hasn't really lived up to the hype in SuperCoach. However, with Storm's injuries and retirings, it isn't crazy to expect an uptick from him, so I don't mind that one either. Have you got anyone?
I would mention for sure Terrell May. He's only at 8%. Throughout the course of last season, he actually ended up scoring a total of 180 points extra on top of Payne Haas. So just the playing those extra games during the origin period, obviously start with the bye, but that's not bad if you gives you somebody there to do your vice captain loop. So having one guy on the bye in your team is not a bad place to start. And I think Terrell May's excuse me, a safer chance to, play more games potentially than Payne Haas throughout the year. So I definitely don't mind that. Otherwise, you've got your AFB, your Pat Carrigan in there as well. These are guys that are just going to score, again, throughout the course of the season. They will score you 1,600 points for your overall, and you don't have to worry about trading them in or out. So they're good shouts. But the one for me, Nafahu White at the Roosters. And it's because I believe that he can make that jump into that top tier of the front row forwards this season. So jumping on him early, he's in nearly in pod territory at that 10%. So there's a few other people on this already as well. But look, he has the potential to grow into sort of one of those $700,000-$800,000 front row forwards that we see. So getting on him before everybody else is definitely a good shout as well.
I do like that. He's just scary to watch. I wonder what he was averaging minutes wise. So if I'm guessing probably about 60 minutes, something like that. Okay, yeah. So it looks like he was averaging about between 50 and 60. Yeah. So if he does make that step up to being an 80-minute player, he's going to skyrocket in money because he's got a decent PPM as well. A couple of rogue ones here for me. Starting off with Ethan Bullimore, biased Manly fan, I know. 1%. Manly fans have been calling for him to get a start for years. And
Yeah.
every time he plays, he makes a really good impact. He's got a PPM of 1.1. So even if he gets, 60 minutes, we're looking at a 600k guy, provided he can still keep that PPM with more minutes. But yeah, if he is getting a bigger role, I'll be having a serious look at him.
Yeah.
Last one to go over, Mitch Barnett, 3% owned, 529k. Did have a big injury layoff from an ACL, which is scary, but it's been 9 months between the injury and round one. So he could get back to his best, and I'd probably want to see him play a trial before picking him, but definitely another little pot option you could go there.
How much?
He is 529k.
Yeah, if he doesn't play for the first few weeks, it's a bit of money to have just sitting on the bench. But I don't mind it if you get in early on him.
Yeah,
That's a good play.
could be a
Yeah, and
little
it
downgrade
depends how
option.
long you depends how far away he is from actually getting a start again.
Yes,
Yeah,
because ACLs are a bit up in the air like that. Beautiful. Yeah, and just to go back to Terrell May, I'll be death riding him at the start of the year because I really want him to drop that little bit of money so I can get him in. I nearly started with Payne Haas and Terrell, but it just kind of made my makeup a little unbalanced, so I got rid of
yeah,
him. But
yeah.
I will be looking to get him back almost immediately. And now the boring position, hooker. Have you got anyone?
I think my favorite on my list here is probably Appy. Pretty sure he gets the goal kicking back at the Tigers. They, are committed 100% to Appy now as well. There was a bit of question about that, I think, last year. So, yeah, look, Appy is probably my favorite on the list. Otherwise, again, like if you're looking not to mess around in this position, you could just put Damien Cook there and he will score like consistently mid-range scores for you all season. And if something happens to him, you just trade him for Jacob Little, and then Jacob Little's probably getting 80 minutes. So you could do something like that.
For me, I've got where's New Zealand? Here we go. Wade Egan. He's only at 1%. He's 527k, so maybe a little bit more than I'd want to pay for him. But he does typically start pretty hot. The Warriors are looking better. They're not absolutely decimated by injury at the moment. And he does just seem to put a few games together at the start. I feel like this is the first year I can think of where he hasn't been relevant when he is fit and playing. So just a guy to mention. But at the
Mhm.
same time, we're talking about hooker here, and it's just not the biggest upside position this year.
Yeah. I'm going to mention again, even though he's gun territory, it's Blake Brayley. He's only at 8%. Um, look, I was toying around with going double cheapy in the hooker and just thinking it was a dud position. But then I realized I don't want to mess around with it if the cheapies aren't working out. I'm wasting trades in a position that's not worth a lot. So I actually decided to go the other way and just grab a gun straight away. And the best ability is availability. So Blake Brayley, he played all 24 games in 2025. I don't think he's missed a game for like 3 seasons or something ridiculous. And he was in that gun territory. He by far is the most highest point scorer throughout the season last year with over 1,600. So whereas, Damien Cook was in second place, so we're talking overall here at nearly 1,300. So 300 extra points throughout the season on
Mm.
second place. And you just won't have to make a trade all year unless something happens to him. So look, Blake Brayley at 8% to start the season, it seems wild to me. I would have thought for sure more people would be on that, as well as Harry Grant, because Harry Grant is going to go to State of Origin and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, look, Blake Brayley to me at 8%, worth a mention in that position for sure. That's pod territory, man.
And the Sharks have a really good draw as well, which
Yeah.
was part of my thinking for getting Nico Hines in. So I like that one as well.
The
Um,
one thing that puts me off with it, and I'm just not 100% sure what their strategy is going to be like, because he did say part of the reason why he wasn't running so much last year is because that's what's best for the team or something. So they might have this strategy of trying to build a dynamic with the halves and trying to make sure that they're not just running everything through him. They might try to build that at the start of the season again because everyone's going to be expecting them to go through Brayley. So I'm just not sure how their attack's actually going to look to start the season, but. Look, if he starts off running like he was towards the end of last season, then I think Brayley is a keeper all year, and yeah, definitely a chance to get on him early and then just never trade him.
I think if all goes well with Simpkin and he manages to get himself up towards that sort of high 500s to 600, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer just to flip him out to Brayley. And
Yeah,
provided Brayley isn't going to play Origin, which I don't think so. Do you know if he's a Welshman? Is he even eligible?
I think he is on the cards for New South Wales. Yeah, but They've got so many guys. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, Robson and Watson, they've pretty much got
Yeah.
that locked down. Yeah, I don't mind it. So that's the pods. Hopefully, we've given you a little bit of insight. Maybe you're tearing your team apart right now, trying to fit some of these guys in. But I think pods are a very important part of the game. You don't want to just pick all the high-owned guys because then you're just going to be stuck in that clump of ranks with majority of people. You need to do something to make yourself stand out and score a
Yep.
bit more points.
Absolutely. Group League. Don't forget about joining the Group League, folks. If you made it this far, then you probably didn't jump off the video to go and join the Group League earlier. So here's the code again. It's 899-247. Join the Group League. $750 is the starting amount for the prize pool. That will grow throughout the season. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you in there. And there was some cheeky people in the comments on some other videos as well. So join the Group League, and we'll see who comes out on the top at the end of the season, who takes home that prize money. And again, don't forget to also check out Flat Out Footy Rugby League board game coming out this year.
Hell yeah. Money where your mouth is, boys. If you're going to talk shit, make sure you get a good rank.
Then we're going to be out here, Wooden Spoon SuperCoach on YouTube, probably getting outranked by all of our people in the comments section. But that's fine. Come and tell us about it in the comments section.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll take our licks if we don't do well. So beautiful. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. Leave a like, subscribe. Keep an eye out for the next video where we will do some comments for futures, for top 4, top 8, miss the 8, all that. You'll see it eventually. So make sure you keep looking at the new videos coming out. Thanks again, Mac, for the sponsorship that I'm glad we can finally reveal it now. And yeah, keen for a good year ahead.
Let's go.